guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about what you can do to crush your goals in 2018 and how you can make this your best year yet. Well, I know this is a little bit different from what I normally talk about, but I really love to inspire people in any way that I can. I have done a lot of research. I've participated in a lot of goal setting exercises and workshops over the years. So I created a little workbook for you guys. So in the blog post down below, there's going to be a link. If you're not already on my email list, if you hit the form in that blog post, you'll be sent the 3-page workbook. If you're already on my email list, I already emailed it out to you in the weekly newsletter, so be sure to open up the newsletter and you can get the 3-page workbook there. So here's a little hack for you. When you're writing down your goals, use a pencil, because the vibrations that your hand makes and the signals that it sends to your brain actually helps you to retain that information better than using the fluid motion of a pen. So just a little quick tip for you there. So what you're going to do, print off the workbook, grab a pencil, grab a cup of coffee, and make sure you have some quiet time. Don't try and set this when your kids are running around like crazy at your feet, when your husband is talking to you about his day at work. Like you need to have some quiet time to do this, because A, you're going to miss things, and B, you're just not going to be able to implement it properly when you're not super focused on it. We're going to talk about the 3 pages in the workbook. And I'm sorry, my printer printed this one out a little crooked, so it's not designed that way. The first thing you're going to want to do is write down your reflections of last year, so of 2017. And the reason this is so important is you cannot, if you keep setting goals and you're not achieving them, you have to look back and figure out where the disconnect is. Maybe you have 1 or 2 goals in mind, but you feel like there's more things you want to achieve. If you go back and you look at lessons that you learned over different significant events of the year past, it really helps you to just kind of laser focus down on what you want to achieve in the new year. So this is the first page of the workbook. So we just have every month down here, and I'm going to write mine out all pretty. I've written down a rough copy of everything, but some of my goals are personal. I'm just happy to share a lot of them with you, but you know, I don't want to write down the specific amount of pounds that I want to use and share that with the world. I'm just going to keep that tidbit of information for myself. So I'm going to write mine all out after. So you have 3 columns. You have your months here, you have significant events, and lesson learned. So what you want to do is go back and reflect on things that happened in each month, and just go back and think to January of 2017 last year. Did you feel inspired? Were you ready to rock goals, but then something happened where, you know, you kind of fell off the wagon? You know, were you really inspired to lose weight, or were you really inspired to, you know, maintain better friendships and relationships? Just go back and think about any significant events that happened for you. So for myself, in January, I got to take a little trip with my husband. And that was a significant event because as a busy mom and as a foster mom, stuff like that never happens. And the lesson I learned is just how important it is to spend that time with your spouse or significant other. It's so easy to get lost in the jumble of kids and busy and, you know, all the needs that they need from you. But it's so important, especially in today's 50% divorce rate day and age, that you take that time to nurture that relationship with your spouse. So it was just a reminder. We just were able to reconnect. It was just a great reminder for me. February, March, April, I kind of grouped those all together because honestly it was a bit of a blur for me. We had the boys, our foster sons, in our life then, and it was a really hard time in my life. And as much as we loved them, sometimes it was really hard to like our oldest foster son. He did a lot of aggressive things to my daughters that it was really, really hard for me. And I refused to give up on him, and I knew he was being reunified, but you know, it was a really hard time for me, and I learned a lot in those 3 months of time. I learned my own limitations. I learned more empathy, the importance of community, and how amazing it's been to connect with all of you over YouTube. I've connected with foster mamas from all over, and I love it because, as all of you know, in your immediate circle of friends, you probably have 0 foster mama friends. So it's so good to make those connections and people that are going through what you're going through. That's vital. And it just really helped me to know what we can say yes to going forward. Were we the best possible placement for those boys? I don't know. I believe God put them with us for a reason. And some moments were very sweet, but overall, it just helped me to know what to say yes to moving forward. So next I have May, which is when little Sunflower entered our life, and the lesson I learned about that was just a very emotional time, just from the way she was when she came into care. I hadn't seen a child, obviously I can't say it, but I hadn't a child, her state has never affected me as it has with all of our other 5 foster children that we had up to that, or sorry, 6 foster children that we had up to that point. So it was a very emotional time for me. Lesson learned, a great love, even more empathy for their family. June was summer, and I love hot weather. I love summer. Right now it's minus 31 or so. It's going to be like minus 40 tomorrow in Canada. Some serious Arctic blasts. I am hibernating in my house. So summer in June, and it's just brings happiness to me. I love it. My kids are out of school. We get to spend quality time together. And also my youngest daughter turns 4. So the lesson I learned about that was obviously just to be joyful in all moments, not just because the weather's hot. And in July, we got our sweet little Rosie, and just the joy that she has brought to our life. It just, you know, I've just reflected so much on that, and the lessons that I've learned through her case. It's been very different than any of our other foster children. Obviously, I'm not going to talk too much about the lessons learned there. And then I also lost a friendship. I had a loss of friendship in July that really affected me for the latter part of the year, and you know, I just learned that I can't hold on to negativity and toxic things in my life, and I can only try so much, but some people come into your life and it's only for a season, and that's okay. August and September was hard. We dealt with a lot of, it was really hard caring for Rosie in the first few months of her life, and I'm just going to leave it at that. What I learned is perspective, and relying on God, and pouring into people that you love, and not focusing on negativity. Again, that was kind of a monthly lesson that I just kept learning. In October, I turned 31, and that was just the lesson I learned from that was life is short. I've already been on this earth for 31 years. What have I done that has impacted others? What sort of legacy will I leave behind one day? And what do I want to do with the next 31 years of my life? You know, in the beginning of this year, I just had this feeling that it was going to be a big year, and then by the time I got to October at my birthday, I was like, you know, nothing really big has happened. But then by the time I got to December, which we'll get to, something big happened. November, piece about friendship being over. I'm just going to leave it at that. So December, we got a huge opportunity. There's going to be a big life change happening. Unfortunately, I can't share any of that with you at this moment, but I will, I promise. I hate when people do this, so I'm sorry, but I'm just, for the purpose of my goal setting exercise, I wanted to share this with you guys. But yeah, kind of what I felt at the beginning of the year really kind of came to fruition at the end of the year, and I'm super excited about 2018. You want to write your overall lesson. The overall lessons I had from last year was don't be scared of major change. Don't focus on negativity. Just focus on positivity. You got to get the negative things out of your life. If you had a really negative 2017, I actually want you to do one more thing to this exercise. I want you to write down everything negative that happened to you on a blank piece of paper. Okay, write it all down. Focus, think about it, get it all out. And then just keep ripping it, because you know what? You're not bringing any of that negativity into 2018. That is one of the biggest tips I have for you into being able to smash your goals and have your best year yet, is just leave the negativity behind in 2017. Move on. Move on. Get it out of your life. If things are still affecting you, get it out of your life. Okay? So that's all I got to say about that. Don't be scared of major change. Lose the negativity and just be open and embrace opportunities that come into your life. Live for others. Do good in this world. All the significant events that happened, all the lessons I learned from that, overall, you just want to write that down. Each year that we get on this earth is going to provide you with so many lessons, and you have to kind of focus on that in order to propel yourself into positivity and abundance and love and great things for the next year to come. And what you want to do is write down 3 things: your motto, your word, and for me it's a Bible verse. If you're not a believer, feel free to write your mantra, be there. But for me it's really important that I have a yearly Bible verse. My motto for 2018 is to pursue good and purposeful things, do more and help others, and God's got my back. And I'm going to repeat that to myself every single morning when I wake up. Every morning I try, and it's one of my resolutions, but every morning I try to spend time journaling, meditating, thanking God for all the blessings that He has given to me, and just really focusing on contentment. And this is going to be something I'm adding into that little morning ritual that I like to do. It's just saying my motto to myself every morning and just getting that into my head, and that's going to help me live 2018. And if you do the same, I promise it's going to help you to live 2018 to the fullest potential. Next, I want you to think of a word for 2018. What is your word for 2018? Last year my word was love, and I just wanted to love, and I think I did that well to the best of my ability. At times I'm sure I failed at it, but I just wanted to love more. And we had 4 foster kids that we were able to love on in 2017. One obviously is still with us, but you know, and their families, their moms. I really just wanted to focus on loving. So this year my word is action. Last year was a huge year of lessons learned and research being done, and just kind of a finding year is the best way to explain it. And this year is really about action and just implementing things. I have so many goals and dreams and aspirations, and I just have so much contentment in my heart for living on this beautiful earth and being able to help others. And you know, my family, I'm so grateful for my family, my little girls, my husband, my little dog. Like, I'm just so grateful. The amazing friends. I'm not a social butterfly in the fact where I have a ton of friends, but I have, you know, a few core friends that mean the world to me, and I'm so thankful for their relationships. And my clients, I still do a good handful of clients, and some of the reason I still do their hair is because we have an amazing relationship, and I'm so thankful for them. And I feel like I'm going off on a tangent, but this year it's all about action and just putting into action lessons I learned and things that I want to do, and action, 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 and just do it. You can never achieve things if you don't put all of your effort into it and actually do. You can write things down till you're blue in the face, but unless you have action, it's not going to happen. So maybe that's a good word for you as well for 2018. I don't know. Maybe it's another word. But pick a word and write it down. Last for me is my Bible verse. And this year I chose Luke 11:9. I'm going to read it to you. If you're not a believer, sorry, but it's a big part of my life, so I'm going to read this to you. Luke 11:9. And I tell you, ask and it will be given to you, seek and you will find, knock and it will be open to you. And I'm going to repeat that verse to myself every morning. I think the Bible is an amazing self-help book, manual for us to live by. The baby's crying. Go back to sleep. It's midnight. You know, things that happened in my life I can only attribute to God and loving and serving an amazing and awesome God. And that's one of my resolutions, which I'm going to get into next, is just putting Him first. So once you have your motto, your verse, and your word, you want to write that down. So now we're on to the second page of the workbook. So now we're going to talk about resolutions, goals, and priorities. Now there's 3 separate categories for this because I gotta go give the baby. Sorry guys, I'm back. The baby needed her soother. Okay, so why are these 3 separate things? Are they not all kind of the same thing? No. Resolutions are things you're going to resolve to do. Like, I want to lose more weight this year. I want to drink more water this year. I want to be a better mom this year. I want to be a better wife this year. I want to do more good this year. I want a nice car this year. I want a better job this year. I want to mend a relationship this year. Whatever you want to do is a resolution. A goal is what you're going to do. The difference is goals need actionable steps, and you really should put a timeline on them as well. If you put a timeline on them, that makes them more important, and that makes, you know, especially if you have a competitive nature, that makes you really want to crush that goal. So that brings me to the next worksheet. We'll finish up with that one in a minute. So this one is your goals and actionable steps. So I've got 10 spots here. I really suggest you don't have too many goals. If you have too many, even though as moms we're amazing multitaskers, if you have too many goals, you're just not going to be able to achieve them. To achieve a goal, you need to be laser focused on it. So I suggest 10 major goals for this year. And I think there's 5 categories that you need to look at when you're setting your goals. Spiritual, and I mean, if you're not a believer, you maybe believe in something else, you maybe believe in the universe, law of attraction, whatever you do, you have a spiritual side to you. Your spirit needs to be nourished. Next is relationships. Set a couple goals for your relationships. Whether that's being a better mom to your kids, repairing a relationship with an estranged family member, whatever that is, set a couple goals for relationships. Third is health and wellness. We all know how important it is to take care of our bodies, our minds, and our spirits. So what are some health and wellness goals? Do you want to lose some weight? Do you want to drink more water? Do you want to start running? Do you want to compete in a marathon? What are some health and wellness goals that you have? Your next category is career and finance. Even if you're a stay-at-home mom, what sort of financial goals do you want to set for your family? This is maybe something that you want to sit down with your husband or your significant other and do. But, you know, what kind of savings goals do you want? Is there a big purchase you want to make? A big vacation you want to make? Is there a big career change? Do you want to move up the ladder? Do you want to change jobs? What are your goals there? And your final one is self-development. As much as I promote loving others and trying to give to others and trying to do for others, I 100% believe you have to take care of yourself first. If you don't take care of yourself first, you're not going to be able to love others. And that's something that I've really neglected since becoming a foster mom, because I feel like at the end of the day, there's just no time left for me. And even though I set resolutions for that this year, I started off okay with them, but foster care just kind of took over. So for me, I've actually made the decision not to take on a second foster care placement. As much as it kills me to know that there's more kids out there and I have an extra bed and I could do it, you know, sometimes I just can't do it well when I'm just that overwhelmed. And I'm really lacking energy because I'm trying to be so consistent on my blog and get my business up and running and pour into these kids and pour into my family and, you know, school. Like I just got, like all of us, we all have so many plates. So I think a big part of self-development is knowing when you just need to chill and take a break. And you know, I've kind of been fighting back and forth and my husband keeps reminding me, like, she's still not sleeping through the night. How can you think of taking on another foster kiddo? And I'm just like, because I just want to help. But, you know, I've made that resolution to myself. I've made that goal and that commitment to myself that I need to just spend a little bit more time on me so that I can give to others and do for others better, if that makes sense. So those are the 5 areas. If you're having trouble setting goals, I suggest 2 from each area. Some of the categories you may have more goals, some you may have less, but I really suggest setting 10 goals. If you have more, that's fine to write them down, but what are your 10 top goals? And make those goals for the year, because if you set any more than that, you're really not going to achieve them. I mean, 10 is a hard number of goals to achieve, especially if they're major goals. So in saying that, don't make them crazy unattainable, but don't make them minimal. Your goals have to be big enough to inspire you and big enough to want you to do more and big enough to want to work hard to achieve them. You know, if it's like, if one of your goals, for example, is lose weight and you have 75 pounds to lose, don't write, I want to lose 5 pounds in 3 months. You can lose 5 pounds in a month, in a week, easily. So, if you have that much weight to lose, trust me, I know. So don't set minimal goals that are just not going to inspire you. Set big goals that inspire you, but don't set unattainable goals. Like if you have $200,000 of debt, say, I want to pay that all off this year. I mean, you have to be realistic as well. Maybe set that as a long-term 5-year plan goal, but we're just talking about goals for 1 year. So don't make them minimal, but don't make them unrealistic. Next, once you identify those 10 goals, you want to make actionable steps for those goals. One of my big goals, for example, I'm going to talk about the career and finance aspect. And even though I'm a 1.5 years into being a stay-at-home mom, I still run a small business out of my home, as well as my blog, which I'm hoping to turn into more of a business so that I can have a little bit more freedom to do the things that I want to do and help to support my family. As much as I love being home and caring for my house and caring for my kids, and that's, you know, a huge priority for me, I'm just too ambitious. I need some sort of career-oriented fulfillment, and I'm not growing my salon business anymore. I have my clients, I do my clients, and you know, that keeps me busy enough with that. I have this like new passion for creating content on my blog and YouTube, and I love it. And it gives me such fulfillment, and I love connecting with so many amazing people through it, and I just love the positivity that it has brought into my life. So that's a big goal for me this year, is growing that and connecting with others. So that's my goal. What are my actionable steps? Well, my first actionable step is to create a content calendar. For me, it's very easy to get caught up in my busy life and not be consistent with posting blog posts and posting videos for you guys. And I know you guys, well, most of you love them, and I love to give that to you. I love it. I enjoy it so very much. So what can I do to be more consistent? Create a content calendar for my blog, my business, and add that to a planner. You know, what am I going to post Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Am I going to take Saturdays off? What is my plan for my content production? Then I put that all into a planner, put the topics and the things that I want to talk about in there. Break that down in Trello, which is an online planner that I use. Very much like a pen to paper person, but I also believe that for certain things technology just trumps it. So I input that all into Trello and plan that all out step by step. Then I'm going to plan my batch days. What day am I going to film things? I can't just, you know, film and do a video and expect to have 3 videos consistently out for you guys every week. I need to plan edit days. So for my posts and my videos, I create it and then I go back on a separate day and I edit it, because I kind of get passionate and going, and I start talking and I start writing, and I just want to get all my thoughts out there. But then I need to go back and be like, okay, do they really want to hear me blab about every single thing that happened this month, for example, in this video? Maybe you don't. So I might cut that out. I might not. Then I want to plan my upload and publish times. So once I've created my content, what time am I going to edit my content, and what time am I going to upload? Sometimes YouTube videos, if they're long, take a really long time to upload. So I have to work that in. Like the other night, I just fell asleep on the couch because I had a 40-minute video I was trying to upload, and I just wanted to make sure it was done so my computer didn't, go into sleep mode and stop uploading. So I need to plan for that, upload times, so that I can be consistent. Plan my marketing schedule. I'm going to pin these things. How am I going to get people that care about what I'm talking about? How am I going to get them to my blog? So none of that may have not interest you, but I hope you get the premise of what the goal is and how many actionable steps I need to do to achieve that goal. So I'm going to just do one more, just because this is probably a more common goal. Most of you that follow me are not bloggers or YouTube creators, so let's go with lose weight. This has been a resolution over and over and over since I've had my kids. I am not happy with my weight, not only because I physically don't feel confident, and I think when you feel confident, you can conquer the world. And when you don't feel confident, you just, you can let negative thoughts get into your head. But, for a good example for my kids, for my health, I want to be around a long time for them, and I want to be a great role model for them. And, eating 5 pieces of pizza at night and not going to the gym in months is not being the best healthy role model for them. So losing weight, I have a specific number of pounds I want to use, or, measurements I want to be. And I want that because I want to feel strong and empowered, and I want to have energy, and I don't want to feel like I have to drink coffee after coffee all day just to, have enough energy to play with my kids and work on my blog. And, I don't get enough sleep as it is, so I need to take care of my health, and the older I get, the more I feel the impact of not taking care of my health. So that's a huge goal for me. So what do I need to do to lose X amount of weight? I need to meal prep. I need to write down a calendar 2 weeks in advance of what I'm going to eat for all of my meals. I know me. I'm a very busy, I'll just grab this, I'll just grab that. I need to plan in advance what I'm going to eat if I'm going to be successful. So I need to meal prep, write it down, spend Sundays meal prepping, spend Thursdays grocery shopping, be consistent on my shopping and meal prepping days so that I set myself up for success. What else do I need to do? I need to go to the gym. I'm going to start going to the gym Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And once that is consistent, I'm going to add more days to that. But Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, plan it out. What classes are at the gym? What do I want to do? I have to get the baby signed up so that I can get her in the little daycare at the gym, because both of the older girls are in school now. What can I do so I can spend an hour at the gym 3 days a week? That's my next actionable step. Part of that goal is drinking a lot of water. Some days I don't drink any water these days. I drink coffee and coffee. So I want to drink 2 liters of water every day. How am I going to do that? So I'm going to buy a couple bottles, 1 liter each, fill them up the night before because I like icy cold water, and have them ready to go so I'm not just grabbing juice out of the fridge, just a coffee at the drive-thru. What else do I need to do to achieve that goal? I need to take my measurements and set weekly times to weigh myself and measure myself so that I can keep myself accountable. I also need to plan cheat meals. I know things are going to come up, but if I plan for them in my diet, I can work out a little harder that day, or make sure I eat super healthy the rest of the day and the day before and the day after, and just plan for that. It's a huge goal, and I've many times lost weight, gained weight, lost weight, gained weight, lost weight, and I'm committed to this year, and hopefully putting this out on YouTube holds me accountable. because that is a huge goal for me this year. And I'm just, you know, I'm sick of feeling tired and sluggish and not confident in my clothes and having to buy bigger sizes. I'm done. I'm over it. So this is the year. New year, new me, right? So next is priorities. And why I think you should do your priorities separately is because sometimes you can get so focused on a goal that you lose balance in your life. You know, you want to lose weight so badly that you start neglecting playtime with your kids, and you know, you just become so focused on that you neglect other areas of your life. So I think it's really important to have an area where you write down your priorities. And for me, that's God first this year. It's not, you know, spending time reading my Bible or doing a devotional is not something I've done in the past, but I know what the Lord has done for me in my life, and I want to just learn more and grow more this year in that. And so putting God first. So in the morning, trying to, you know, so in the morning when I drink my coffee, getting up before the kids and reading a devotional and just spending that time focusing on that. That's hugely important. That's my first priority this year. Then my family and friends and relationships like that. That's what life is about. Not about things, not about experiences. It's about the people in your life. And you know, I'm a huge believer of that. I think people can get very lonely and isolated and hold resentments and hold anger towards others. So just focusing on family and the relationships and people that love you and people that you love, just focusing on that. That's my next priority in my life. Then after that, it's my health. And that's my third priority in my life. Fourth, it's creating and my blog and my business. I sometimes stay up till 2 or 3 in the morning, and then I'm so exhausted the next day that I'm just not being the best mom that I can be. And I just want to make, you know, craft dinner rather than a nice healthy meal. So when I put that before what I say my second and third priority is, I'm failing. So just having your priorities as a visual for you is really going to help you know what you need to focus on and when you're focusing on too much. So I feel like this video is getting real long, so I'm going to end it. But just a close-up of this one again, your resolutions, your goals, your priorities, your motto, your verse or your mantra, and your word of the year. Keep it in the front of your journal if you look in your journal, your planner every day. Put it on a bulletin board beside your bed. Put it on your fridge, somewhere that you can see it and look at it every single day. Having things visual is proven to have a greater impact on fulfilling them. So do it. Make it visual. Another thing I suggest is if you are an especially visual person, putting all of this into some sort of vision board. And, you know, creating a board, creating a bulletin board, get a piece of Bristol board from the dollar store. However, what is the most important thing to you, and put that in the center of your board. And for me, that's my family and God, and I'm putting that right in the center of my board. And what else is important to me this year, all of my goals, and have some visual things and post that. Some people might want to do that as well. That's something else I'm going to do. Not included in this workbook, but for some people that's a really great tool as well. Anyways, I feel like this was really long, and I'm just going to end it. I hope that inspires you to set some goals and live your best 2018. I am super pumped and super jazzed about this year, and jazz hands. I'm just so thankful to all of you. I've connected with so many of you over 2017, whether it's just in the comments down below or on Instagram or Facebook, or a lot of you have emailed me through the blog, and I appreciate all of you so much. I love it, guys. I love this community that I've been able to build, or we've been able to build together. I love having a platform to do good and to speak good, and I know not everybody's gonna like me, but that's, you know, part of my lessons learned from last year. Leave that negativity in the past, done with it. So thank you guys so much for being here today. I hope this inspires you. Like if you like this video, if you like things like this, comment down below, let me know some of your goals. I'd love to be your cheerleader and encourage you. That's one thing I forgot to mention. Get an accountability partner, especially for weight loss things. That's something I'm gonna do this year. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Thank you guys so much, and I wish you a happy, healthy 2018. Bye.